Deep beneath a glacier in Alaska, explorers discovered something that defies explanation. A crystal palace that could vanish tomorrow. We're taking you inside 15 of the world's most jaw-dropping ice caves, from hidden blue tunnels in Iceland to frozen chambers holding secrets from 200 years ago. But here's the catch. Half of these caves are disappearing because of climate change, and one of them has already closed forever. Stick around to find out which one and why scientists are racing against time to study what's inside before it's too late. What you're looking at right now isn't CGI. It's a real ice cave in Greenland where the walls glow electric blue and every sound echoes like you're inside a cathedral made of frozen water. Ice caves are some of the rarest natural wonders on Earth. Unlike rock caves that take millions of years to form, ice caves can appear in just months and disappear just as fast. They're shaped by melting water, shifting glaciers, and sometimes volcanic heat. Today, we're counting down 15 of the most beautiful ice caves in the world. But I'm warning you now, some of these won't be around much longer. Okay, let's dive in. We're starting our list in Norway, inside the Nigardsbreen Glacier. This isn't your typical cave. It's a tunnel carved by meltwater that flows beneath the ice during summer, then freezes solid in winter. The walls here are this surreal shade of turquoise, and if you shine a light through them, you can actually see layers of compressed snow from hundreds of years ago. Each stripe represents a different season, a frozen timeline of Earth's climate. But here's the kicker. The cave changes every single year. The tunnel you walk through this winter might be completely gone by next summer, replaced by a new formation somewhere else in the glacier. Guided tours take visitors into these tunnels between November and March, but only when conditions are safe. One wrong step and the ice above could shift. It's thrilling and terrifying. Next up, we're heading to the shores of Lake Superior in Wisconsin, where winter transforms sea caves into frozen art galleries. These aren't glacier caves. They're rock caves along the coastline that get coated in thick layers of ice when temperatures plummet. Icicles hang from the ceiling like chandeliers, and frozen waterfalls create these massive pillars that look like something from a fantasy novel. The catch? You can only visit when Lake Superior freezes solid enough to walk on, and that doesn't happen every year. In 2014, over 138,000 people made the trek across the ice to see them. But in 2020, warm winters kept them closed. Climate change is making these caves less accessible each year. Scientists predict that within a few decades, they might not freeze at all. Now, we're going underground, literally. Beneath Switzerland's Gorner Glacier, there's a man-made ice palace carved into the heart of the glacier itself. This isn't a natural cave, but it's stunning nonetheless. Workers use chainsaws and ice picks to carve out rooms, tunnels, and even sculptures, all inside a glacier that's constantly moving at a rate of about 12 inches per day. The palace has to be recarved every year because the ice shifts and compresses. It's like building a sand castle that the tide washes away, except with 50 tons of ice. Visitors can walk through these frozen chambers and touch walls that are thousands of years old. But here's the eerie part. You can actually hear the glacier creaking and groaning around you as it moves. It's a reminder that you're inside a living, shifting force of nature. Let's switch gears. This cave in Slovakia is one of the few ice caves in the world that's been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. Unlike glacier caves, Dobšinská is a limestone cave that stays frozen year-round because of a unique microclimate. Cold air gets trapped inside, keeping temperatures below freezing even in summer. The ice here is up to 80 feet thick in some spots, and it's been frozen for over 1,000 years. Explorers have found ancient tools and animal bones preserved in the ice, giving scientists a window into what life was like centuries ago. The cave is lit with soft blue lights that reflect off the ice, creating this otherworldly glow. It's open to tourists, but only a small section. Most of it is restricted to protect the delicate ice formations. Now, we're back in Iceland, inside the second largest glacier in the country, Langjökull. Engineers spent years drilling a 1,700-foot tunnel into the glacier, creating the world's largest man-made ice cave. It's essentially a highway through the ice, wide enough to drive a truck through. The tunnel leads to a massive chamber where you can see the internal structure of the glacier, layers of ice stacked like pages in a book, each one representing a year of snowfall. What's wild is that the glacier is melting faster than expected. The tunnel was built with the idea that it would last for decades, but scientists now estimate the glacier could lose up to 40% of its mass by 2100. This cave is a race against time. Here's where things get dangerous. The Big Four ice caves in Washington state are famous for being absolutely stunning and absolutely deadly. These caves form at the base of a mountain where avalanches pile up snow throughout the winter. By summer, meltwater carves tunnels through the snow, creating these massive blue caverns. But here's the problem. The caves are unstable. The roof is just compacted snow and ice, and it can collapse without warning. Multiple people have died here, and the Forest Service has put up warning signs everywhere. Yet, people still visit because the caves are gorgeous. Sunlight filters through the ice, creating this ethereal blue glow that's impossible to capture on camera. If you go, don't go inside. Seriously, admire from a distance. Deep inside Austria's Hintertux Glacier, there's another ice palace, but this one's a bit more whimsical. The cave is carved with ice sculptures, tunnels, and even a chapel where couples can get married. Yes, you can literally get married inside a glacier. The palace is 50 feet underground, and the walls are covered in intricate carvings of animals, faces, and abstract designs. It's like walking through a frozen museum. The temperature inside stays at about 28 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, so dress warm. And don't linger too long. The longer you're inside, the more you realize just how much ice is above your head. Now we're heading to one of the most remote places on Earth, Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. This ice cave is unique because it's formed by volcanic heat. A river of meltwater flows beneath the ice, heated by underground hot springs, and carves out these tunnels that glow orange and red from the volcanic rock below. The contrast between the blue ice and the red stone is unreal. It looks like fire and ice coexisting in the same space. But getting here is no joke. It requires a helicopter ride, a hike across a glacier, and permission from Russian authorities. Most people will never see this cave in person, but that's what makes it so special. All right, here's the one I've been waiting to tell you about. Vatnajökull is the largest glacier in Iceland, and every winter, new ice caves form along its edges. These caves are famous for their intense blue color. It almost doesn't look real. The blue comes from the way light is absorbed and reflected by the ice. Red light gets absorbed, while blue light is scattered and reflected back to your eyes. The denser the ice, the bluer it gets. But here's the heartbreaking part. These caves are temporary. They melt and reform every year. And because of warming temperatures, some years they don't form at all. In 2019, one of the most famous caves, called the Crystal Cave, collapsed after just one season. Photographers who captured it felt like they'd witnessed something that would never exist again. And they were right. Visiting these caves is like catching lightning in a bottle. You have to go at the right time, with a guide, and hope the cave is still stable. back to Switzerland, where the Rhone Glacier has been home to an ice grotto for over 140 years. Every year, workers carve a new tunnel into the glacier, about 300 feet long, and line it with lights. It's one of the oldest tourist ice caves in the world, but the glacier is retreating fast. In the last 150 years, it's lost over 1,300 feet of length. Scientists now cover parts of it with white blankets in summer to slow the melting. Walking through this grotto feels like stepping back in time, but also like witnessing the end of an era. Most glaciers are shrinking. Perito, Moreno, it's growing. Located in Patagonia, this glacier is one of the few in the world that's still advancing. And as it moves, it creates ice caves along its edges, deep blue tunnels that shift and change every day. The glacier is also famous for its dramatic calving events, where massive chunks of ice break off and crash into the lake below. It sounds like thunder. Tourists aren't allowed inside the caves for safety reasons, but you can view them from boats. Even from a distance, they're breathtaking. This cave in the Ural Mountains is one of the longest ice caves in the world, over 3.5 miles of passages. Unlike glacier caves, Kungur is a limestone cave that stays frozen because of cold air circulation. It's been a tourist site since the 1800s, and legends say it was used by monks as a hideout. The cave has over 70 underground lakes, and in winter, the ice formations grow so thick that they look like frozen waterfalls suspended in mid-air. Another volcanic ice cave in Russia, Mutnovsky, is located inside an active volcano. Hot springs melt the glacier from below, creating these tunnels where you can see steam rising through cracks in the ice. The walls glow yellow and orange from sulfur deposits. It's one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. Ice, fire, and steam all in one place. This is the cave that ends up on every most beautiful places on Earth list. The ice here is so compressed and pure that it's almost transparent. Light passes through it like stained glass, creating shades of blue that range from pale turquoise to deep sapphire. But it's also incredibly fragile. The cave can only be visited in winter, and even then, guides have to check it daily for stability. And finally, number 1. This cave, mentioned at the start of this video, is already gone. It was discovered in 2011, and by 2020, it had completely collapsed due to glacier retreat. Photographers who captured it were some of the only people to ever see it. It was a reminder that these caves aren't just beautiful, they're temporary, fleeting, precious. So there you have it, 15 of the most stunning ice caves in the world. Some you can visit, some are already gone, and some might not be here in 10 years. Which one would you want to see in person? Drop a comment below, and if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. See you in the next one.